All right, welcome back. We're over 314 now. I'm doing more as I speak of videos. They're really good, well, I say they're good because they're my babies. Okay, we got found children in a van. We got screaming ladies at me yelling her boyfriend's name for 15 minutes. We got a dead body in the car that I picked up because some motor officer stopped it for DUI, and he died in my car. Okay, I mean all kinds of stuff. So look them all up. They're pretty good. I'm working a major narcotics now, and I picked up a new partner, an Asian partner. Good guy, Army Airborne. He's the cream of the creme. His dad was in the Nisi in Italy, fighting. Came out of the internment camps and went to Italy and fought in World War II. Was a Silver Star. What great lineage here, okay? Because his son followed his footsteps. His dad was an Airborne Ranger, and he was an Airborne Ranger. I don't get off on that. Anyway, so we got a clue from an informant. And informants are very critical for our kind of work because they point to really large distributors of narcotics. And these were Thai guys from Thailand. They were selling China white heroin, which is like cocaine, only it's heroin, and it's a lot purer, smaller amounts, but it's like 3 times more powerful than cocaine because it's heroin. Okay, so he got it. We met it. So he's working over in the Hollywood area. We're working in there, and he gets the informant has a meet with him with this Thai guy. Actually, there's 2 of them. So I'm in the restaurant covering him, and it's a minority area. Everybody, all kinds of mix in there. So, we're at a Thai restaurant, and I'm having some Thai sticks, which is not narcotics. It's really Thai sticks. It's meat on a hook. So I'm watching him. Talking to these guys, they're talking, negotiating. And so they come out of the lot, and we had another guy show up and gave him a money flash. Now, explain to everybody what a money flash is we surprise them when they're talking, negotiating. My partner and these 2 gentlemen are walking out in the parking lot, getting ready to leave, and a car pulls up. One of our guys pulls up, and we got another Asian detective, and my partner points to the car. They look at the car. He opens up a bag, and it's got like $200,000 in cash in there, and they make sure they see it, and then they close the gate, they close the satchel, and they take off. Okay, so then he tells them, "Well, I'm ready. Are you ready?" Okay, and this really separates the wheat from the chaff here. Okay, they either freak out because they can't produce, or they start doing to produce. Okay, so they separate. Well, once they take off, the rest of my squad, I'm not doing it because I'm undercover, follow them, see where they're going. And they went out to some valley house out there in San Fernando, or in Palmdale area, way far away from downtown. So they go up there. In the meantime, we contact the informant, and the informant says, well, if they don't go anywhere, he says, then they have it at the house. Okay. Oh, interesting, because this is a different. Well, we deal with a lot of Latinos, Mexicans, Colombians. They all deal in the same type of drug, but they all do it differently. Okay. And this was different. Usually what they'll do is they'll go to a house, they'll come out with someone, they went right to their house in the valley. So I thought, okay, well, I have the information, I got him undercover, they're talking stuff, so I think I have enough for a search warrant. Okay, so I'm over in the process of writing a search warrant. I'm downtown, they're out, 60 miles away. They're set up on a house. So I'm at 2 fingers, man, I'm typing away as fast as I can. But it's not hard because, again, we've done this many, many times. 2/3 of the warrant's already written before we even started, okay? Because 2/3 of a warrant is background and my background and everything else, and then the other third is actually what you saw, the last part of this, that completes the pie, so to speak. So as I'm doing that, we have phones now. I get a call, and my supervisor says, hey, a 240Z came out, backed out of the garage with one guy in it, and took off. And so we had a sheriff's waiting, so we've got this warrant coming, so we can legally stop the car because we're waiting for a warrant. Stop the car, asked to search it, and they knew we got a warrant, so we are going to search it eventually anyway. And he said, okay, go ahead. So they're searching the car, and there's nothing in it. Well, my senior supervisor is one top supervisor, below him is another one. The second one, he's really searching. He's worked a long time, 30 years at this. Well, they're in the back seat throwing stuff, and what does he find? He finds a Kleenex box. It's sealed. Well, I have to admit, pretty sharp, because I picked up this box later. It's not much heavier than a regular Kleenex box. And he said he picked it up and he went, well, that's interesting. It's not heavy, but it's not light either. Get that feeling, and it's sealed. Oh, okay. So he gets the knife out and cuts the end flap, and they're rolled inside of a roll of Kleenex. They hollowed out the Kleenex and put it in a kilo, and the kilos are about this big, of just enough to get in there. And then they resealed it. Pretty good. It looked really good. It wasn't covered in plastic. It was just sealed. The flaps. So we saw that. He goes, oh my gosh. So he called me. He goes, we got it. Okay, so I include that. So in the meantime, this let me told this. Okay, there's 2 guys left. We found out there was 2 guys left in the house. Well, in the meantime, one guy comes out to the mailbox, and we know from our observation that there's no mail out there yet. We watch all this stuff. Okay, opens the mailbox. They open the mailbox. He's doing this. Okay, now, I get mail from a mailbox. I don't know if you do or not watching this. When you get your mail, you get your mail. You get your mail, and you look around for neighbors' eye, and you walk back in the house. You don't sit there and stand there and do like this. Because he's looking for a lookout, because we found out later on that they were expecting a phone call from the 240Z driver that he arrived at the location and traded whatever he was selling. They're waiting for that phone call, and they wonder where he went. Well, he ain't going nowhere, man. He's in police custody. So anyway, so he's looking up and down, and for a while, and there's no mail. He closes like this, goes back in the house. Okay, so I get the warrant done, try to keep the story condensed. Get the warrant done, call him, tell him it's a done deal. Okay, so I'm an hour, traffic's heavy. I'm 2 hours away from here, so I'm the rider and everything, but I can't, enjoy the moment of going through that door. So they're hitting it. So okay, fine. So I'm driving up there, and I get there 2 hours later, and all three are handcuffed, and they found 3 or more of these boxes, in the bathroom, stacked neatly in a little storage area with all the other Kleenex boxes. Well, each of those kilos, unlike the cocaine kilos, which are 40,000 wholesale of this little box here, this is like $100,000 resale. Okay, so each one is probably $1.5 million to $2 million each in street value. Each one, because it's heroin. It's higher priced, costs more, less powder. So that's huge. Okay, so we got 4 of those. So we're up in the probably $8 million range, $9 million range. Okay, at the time, this is 1987. It was the largest China white heroin case in LA County. Subsequent to that, other cases beat it. But now we're trying to set a record. It was just surprising to us that we got this. Okay, and so I went to the DA the next day, had all my paperwork, and I went in there because the DA, we have special district attorneys to do this case, not just the general ones that file charges against wife beaters and robbers. And he says, "Oh, we're gonna file charge on everybody." I said, "Even the guy that came out to the mailbox?" And at the time, there was a Miller beer commercial. I think it was Bubba Smith or somebody, that the football players came, and he put his arms around them, and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to grab them all, and then I see who has the ball." Okay. And so he says, "Yeah, I like that football player." I don't remember. We don't remember. He said the name. I don't remember this day. We're gonna grab all 3. Okay, and we're gonna see who comes forward to plead guilty. Whoa. He said, "We'll just file a charge on all of them." We had 1 in the car and 2 in the house. Okay, fine. So sure enough, man, about a week later, the guy that came out to look out was already wanted to plead a deal, cut a deal, because he was saying, "My guy isn't involved." And we saw him doing this. So it's kind of like, and they're threatening the DA. "Oh, you'll never win it in court." And he goes, "Okay, fine, let's go to court." Yeah, they don't want to do that. No. Because they know that jurors, even though it's LA, that they lean a little bit, they have less, they were all undocumented foreigners from Asia and Thailand. So they know the jurors, even though they can't tell them that, they're going to look at them like, "Oh, these people are doing all this kind of stuff," so they know that. So he pled guilty, plea bargain. The 2 guys didn't go to trial. They took the prelim. They pled out to 25 to life or whatever, and done deal. Nice and clean. Pretty good. But Kleenex box, I never forgot that. That's almost 1985, 86, so long time ago. But good, very smart. Almost got away with it, but not quite. So hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.